attention, and if you would start making your way to your seats, please.
Oh, that's okay. Oh,
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. May I have your attention? Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I am Tika Jackson, the newest board member and a proud board member of Tennessee Justice Center, and I'm honored to be your MC for tonight's Hall of Fame Gala. It is so lovely to see your smiling faces all in one room. What an honor to be together in this place. The National Museum of African American Music celebrates the strength of human spirit and the miracles produced by people who use music to resist cruelty and injustice with creativity and beauty. And for those of you joining virtually, we want to thank you for taking time out of your evening to spend with us as well. We are grateful to spend this evening with friends, partners, clients, and individuals who are new to Tennessee Justice Center. We cannot wait for you to hear about the extraordinary organization and the difference that it makes. TJC's story is our story. Everyone in this room has supported the work in one way or another. Tonight, we are celebrating 26 years, Again, 26 years. Let's give a round of applause for that. Amazing. 26 years of TJC's work advocating for low-income families and children throughout Tennessee, amplifying their voices and helping to make government policies and safety net programs responsive and effective. We celebrate you and all those that make this possible. Thank you for your time, your treasure, your moral clarity, and your love. This evening, the celebration focuses on who helped TJC tackle impossible challenges so this team can keep serving Tennessee's families. This year's Hall of Fame inductees each played a vital role in ensuring that TJC found a permanent home. Another round of applause for that. Thank you. Before I get into details, I would like to introduce one of the extraordinary executive directors of Tennessee Justice Center, Michelle Johnson.
Thanks, Tika. Does she look beautiful or what? Okay, so it is so good to see all of you in person. And you're not in your jammies. I just want to say thank you. And if you're at home in your jammies, that's okay too. What an incredible blessing it is to finally be together. It's great to see so many new faces as well. So if you're new to TJC, here's what TJC does. Other than having fabulous parties, we stand with Tennesseans in their struggle to find a pathway to prosperity. And that starts with ensuring that people have their basic needs met. Our team fights for and with families to access healthcare, nutrition, and to combat medical debt. Our clients are children with disabilities, foster children, teens seeking mental health services, older Tennesseans trying to get long-term care and stay in their home, moms with cancer, grandmothers who have to fight to get the food that they need in order to survive. We serve people who are pregnant. And the truth is, the perfect cocktail of outsized impact that we have at TJC comes down to three things. One is we help individuals one-on-one. Last year, about 1,500 individuals we helped one-on-one. We work in coalition with and we provide technical assistance and training to over 900 partners across the state. And in those close relationships, we spot patterns that we can then raise up and fix system problems that enable every Tennessean to have the chance to. Speaking of cocktails, the bar's open all night. So I'm honored to be on Team TJC, and what a team it is. If you work or volunteer at TJC, raise your hand. This group is amazing. Give them a round of applause. Their creativity, strength, hard work, compassion, brilliance, and kindness changes the state literally every single week. And I'm so proud to be on their team. TJC is also led by, and I am willing to go to the mat with anyone on that, by the best board of directors in the nation. So if you're a board of director, raise your hand. Former board of directors, raise your hand. Amazing, amazing folks. None of this is possible, none of our work is possible without friends who miraculously show up as if to answer a prayer just in the moment when we need them, with exactly the right experience and the right skills to get us to the next phase. So this evening we celebrate 4 of those answered prayers, who among them have over 150 years of experience. I call them the dream team. Matt, Ken, Micah, and John, they transformed a crisis for TJC into an opportunity to improve our community and to improve TJC. Their work enabled us to be well on our way to a forever home in the perfect location. What a gift. A place of our own means that we're more sustainable. And it lets us focus on our work instead of constantly moving our stuff every couple of years. And let me just say, I'm a hoarder, so it's real good to not have to move again. So TJC's new home is in the historic Cameron Trimble Chestnut Hills neighborhood, directly across the street from Napier, the Sudicum community. And that location enables, says, the power of proximity to work with and learn from neighbors who every day face barriers to opportunity and systemic oppression, and as well as the threat of violence. I live about 3 miles from our new office. In my neighborhood, the life expectancy is 84 years old. In Cameron Trimble, it's 68 years old. And that means lives are cut short because of policy decisions and leadership failures. These children face a dramatically bleaker future than children in Idaho, in Minnesota, in New York, and children 3 miles away. These kids deserve better. The policies that shorten their lives are policies that can and must be changed. And the Tennessee Justice Center has been doing that for 26 years with partners and with families. We know firsthand that poor Americans are the people who do the most to help the poor. They are the country's most charitable demographic, and their charity is guided by the wisdom of personal experience. Our new home is therefore the perfect location for TJC to build on our technical expertise through neighborhood relationships, and that will better equip us to advocate for families across the state contending with poverty and racism and social injustice. The cup that holds those 3 parts of the cocktail together has always been and will continue to be community. And so let's break bread together, talk to your table mates, and we'll be back in 10 minutes.
Do we want to give him a spoon or just let him pour it? Sam and I gotta be honest, Sam and I were concerned as we were driving out about like lack of proximity and alcohol. Really? Joey, drive up. Yeah. Actually, gas stuff, Dad's car, Shell right beside it.
all I have. So now's the portion of the show where we will all sing along. I'll start off, and you guys just repeat after me. Just joking, just joking. So as you enjoy your dinner, I'm going to kick off the evening and thank a couple of individuals who helped tonight's gala become a success. Let's face it, parties are hard, and especially really hard to plan. This evening would not have been possible without a few wonderful people. First, a special thank you to our 15 sponsors who gave $2,500 to $7,500 to TJC in support of this evening's gala. Kevin and Katie Crumbo, you can clap, you can clap. And what Michelle doesn't know is I'm terrible with the pronunciation of names. So at this point, if I mispronounce your name, please blame it on my heart and not my head, or should I say my head and not my heart? But nevertheless, I'm sorry. So Kevin and Katie Crumbo, Bank Director, HCA Healthcare TriStar Health, Epstein, Decker and Green, Waller Law, Belmont University, College of Law, Business and Health Sciences, Western Express, Wayne Wise Wellness Fund, Vanderbilt University, Pinnacle Financial Partners, Kraft CPA, Insperity, Bradley, Aaron, Bolt and Cummins, Truist Financial, and Pillsbury Law. Now we can all clap. I would like to say a special thank you to my fellow event committee members for helping TJC develop staff through all aspects of planning and putting together this gala to make it fun and a successful evening. I couldn't pull this off without your unique skills and enthusiasm to rally fellow Tennesseans around for justice work. Thank you to our host committee for bringing people to the table, for spreading the word about TJC generally, and inviting your network to join us this evening. As you can expect, this is an event, but it's also an opportunity and a celebration. As you get to know us better and throughout the night, we hope you will be inspired to make your own contribution to Tennessee Justice Center so they can continue the fight for healthcare and nutrition justice for all Tennesseans. The fundraising goal for tonight is just $25,000. And while you enjoy your evening, you can beat the rush by texting TJC to the contact number 41444. So you can get out your phone and text 41444, and that's to make a financial contribution so that TJC can continue, to do the work that they do in the community. We don't want to leave our friends out that are watching us virtually, so you too can text 41444, and we'll all just kind of watch that thermometer, or thermostat, or thermometer, yes. We'll all just watch that rise throughout the night. The power of TJC's work is breathtaking. For every $1 given over its first 25 years has leveraged $395 in healthcare and nutrition for Tennessee families. Text when you feel inclined to pledge your gift at any point this evening. There are instructions, and those instructions are right on your table, and it's a card, and at your table, it will walk you through the process. There's also TJC staff that's available. So let's do it. Until then, we're honored to have several clients join us this evening and want to say a special thank you to them who inspire us by working with TJC to advocate not only for our family, but for the benefit of all Tennesseans. Thank you former board member and client, Marvin Berry. Current board member and client, Nita Gwynn. I really respect you all's enthusiasm, but I will say I have quite a few names, so we may want to just hold the class until the very end, unless you all want to sing along with the class we were going to do before I got back out up here after dinner. So also, thank you to Crystal Hart, Hannah Muhammad, Donzale Weatherford, Jennifer Taylor, and your families for joining us this evening. Thank you for your courage and your confidence in Tennessee Justice Center to fight with us for health and nutritional justice for all Tennesseans. Your love for your families and your vision for a better state makes TJC a better place. On behalf of the board and staff, thank you, and we are honored for you being on our side. Now, as you think about that gift, and before we induct our Hall of Fame honoree, I would like to welcome a special guest, award-winning singer, songwriter, and music therapist, Kashana, to the stage. Thank you. Before Kashana performs, I would just like to give you a bit of background about Ms. Kashana. Kashana was recognized in 2020 by the Nashville Industrial Music Awards as the Best R&B Soul Artist. The Nashville Scene magazine, Best of Nashville issue, recognized Kashana for her Stand album as the Best Protest Record. But TJC is beyond starstruck with Ms. Kashana for a different project. Many of you may have heard of TJC's Mother's Day Honors, its most extraordinary client by naming 10 to 15 TJC Mothers of the Year. We get volunteer photographers to take family portraits, and we tell their inspiring stories to their local paper and social media. This year, thanks to our nonprofit partner, Intersection, and their Innovation Lullaby project, our Mothers of the Year were given a cherished gift: the chance to write a lullaby and an anthem for their family. Many clients work directly with Ms. Kashana to write their loved ones a song, and tonight, Kashana will perform one of those songs, Three Birds, a Taylor family anthem, written by TJC client and Mother of the Year, Jennifer Taylor, and her daughters, Katie, Holly, and Maddie. While Kashana gets set up, looks like she's set up, to overwhelm us with her talent, I'd like to welcome TJC client and 2020 Mother of the Year, Ms. Jennifer Taylor, to the stage for a few words.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for having us here tonight. My girls and I are honored and blessed to be a part of this evening. I just want to share with you a snippet of our story because they told me I have just a few minutes. I could talk to a whole crowd for a long period of time about stuff that's really passionate to me and advocacy for children and marginalized populations. Passionate about them. So I could be here all night. But about a year ago, I contacted TJC because I have 3 daughters. They are all adopted. I've had them for about 14 years now. They suffered some trauma in their early years, and so one of them had been having a significant amount of trouble just as she transitioned into the teen years with mental health needs. And I had just hit a brick wall in trying to get her services. She had been in therapy since she was 4, and like I said, when she hit that those teen years, it just was overwhelming to her. And I started fighting insurance and couldn't get anywhere. And I work in the social services field, and I thought I knew everything to do to try to get her help, but I learned really quickly I did not. And so I reached out to TJC and asked them to help me advocate for her needs because she really needed specialized care. And we could not get that here in the state of Tennessee, what she needed. So it was through TJC linking me up with an advocate, with an attorney, that we were able to fight and advocate for her needs. Now, in the end, things didn't turn out exactly the way we had hoped that they would in getting her the special care that she needed, but she was able to stay in her treatment longer term. So it was a success for everybody because she's here with us tonight. So I'm glad to have her back home. Because she spent quite a bit of time in residential treatment, getting the treatment that she needed. But during that process, we had the opportunity to work with Kishana, and that was such a blessing, and probably one of the biggest gifts that TJC could have ever given to me as a parent, and given to me even to my daughters, because it was such a healing. Healing took place in writing this song. She took our story, set it to music, and that whole process was really kind of I just can't describe it. She asked us things that were important to us. She asked our story. She took time to listen. It really was, like I said, it was really therapy, and I really hated when the experience was over, and I think my girls hated when that experience was over too. But what we got out of it is this beautiful story and this beautiful anthem that we will take with us for the rest of our lives, and it will be something we cherish forever. So as she sings the song, you're going to hear a little bit of our story in that, because, and it's called Three Birds, because I've always told them, as we've experienced many trials in our life, that they're my three birds, and everything is going to be all right. No matter what, everything is going to be all right. And so each of my girls have their own strengths and that they bring, and so it talks about that in the song. It talks about the strength that they have shown me and keep me going every day, because that's what, they're the reason I get up, they're the reason I fight, they're the reason I advocate. And so I just want to thank you guys again for the opportunity. Again, I could talk all night, but I won't. But I am going to leave you with this, because I'm big on quotes. But this is something I love, and I love Mother Teresa. That she said, there is nothing more calming in difficult moments than knowing there's someone fighting with you. And that just summed up this whole experience for me. Is because I was never alone. On days when I really thought I was alone and I felt like I was an outsider with, like I said, with the insurance companies or with the treatment facility or whoever I was trying to fight against, I never was alone, because I had people in my corner fighting for me and fighting for my children. So I appreciate the work that you do. I appreciate all the contributors that give to the cause. And thank you so much again for having us here tonight.
All that time I could have been warming up the mic, but I was caught into Jennifer's story. I brought two very special friends with me today to perform this original song by Jennifer, Katie, Holly, and Maddie. I have my friend Larissa Maestro, Instrumentalist of the Year through the Arcana Association. And we have Lydia Luce, who is the innovator and director of Laughlin Strings here in Nashville, Tennessee. So just I want you all to know that a family wrote this together. This is their anthem. Here we go. Three Birds. Like a ship on the water, we were just sailing along, broken, lonely, and living. Our sails were tattered and torn. Though the storm was raging and blocking our way, no, we couldn't see it, but God saw clear skies ahead. One
to me. Three little birds singing a hopeful song. Joy, by love and faith, our purpose is kept by God. And they show me how love, there's no love like a mother's love. One show me how to be strong. I see her strength and how she sings her songs. One taught me how to live in the moment and laugh every day. Finding joy in the small things keeps the pain away. And he taught me with care and patience we'll be alright. Three things will last forever: faith, hope, and love. And we know in our hearts, love is the greatest one. If you've ever been broken, who do you cry out for? Just remember our failures doesn't define who we are. All our stars are shining, but everything is gonna be alright. Overhead there is a rainbow shining bright. One show me how to love. There's no love like a mother's love. One taught me how to be strong. I see her strength and how she sings her songs. One taught me how to live in the moment and laugh every day. Finding joy in the small things keeps the pain away. And they taught me with care and patience we'll be alright. And they show me how to love. There's no love like a mother's love. One taught me how to be strong. I see her strength and how she sings her songs. One taught me how to live in the moment and laugh every day. Finding joy in the small things keeps the pain away. And they taught me with care and patience. Yes, they taught me with care and patience. Yes, they taught me with care and patience. We'll be alright.
Wow. Thank you. Wow. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, Jennifer. I have been the luckiest lawyer on the face of the earth because I get clients like that. And at a very heartbreaking moment, we got a call from Intersection. And Kashana, my leadership Nashville classmate, Kelly Cochran, said, I want you to meet Kashana. She's willing to write songs with your Mothers of the Year. And, sometimes all you need is just a little bit of hope to get through the week. And that song, if you thought that was beautiful, listen to the others. Unbelievable. So we're going to start the Hall of Fame inductions. We've been super excited to celebrate the people who make this work possible. So I'm going to make Matt Harris come up here while I go on and on. Come on, Matt. I'll start talking. It was a dark day. Come on, Matt. Give him a round of applause. It was a dark day when it became clear that TJC was about to be homeless. And this may be breaking news to y'all, but Nashville's real estate market isn't quite hospitable to our scrappy little nonprofit. So John Tishmore, who will honor later, says, don't you know a real estate attorney? Not a one. He says, yes, you do. You know Matt Harris. And I believe I said, and this is a quote, I cannot afford Matt Harris. I really couldn't afford Matt Harris. And so John offered to call him, and Matt may have regretted this, but he answered the phone. And barely knowing us, he became a lawyer, our friend. He made sure we never felt alone. And his advocacy with the city codes meant that we saved hundreds of thousands of dollars and enabled us to keep building our homes. So let's play the tape. Embarked on this journey to have a forever home. It was clear we needed a dream team of experts. And so Matt and John, and Ken and Micah were all part of it. And Matt, obviously, without Matt's ability to understand all of the twists and turns of real estate law, we wouldn't have had it. We would have long since given up.
It was a wonderful team, still is a wonderful team. And between everyone's collective experience, that experience meshed and everyone came to the mutual conclusion that it could be done with this building. It could be done at 155 Lafayette. It lends necessary stability to the calls, to have an address that's not changing every 12 to 18 months.
We didn't have a budget for a lawyer. Matt said, don't worry about it. I can represent you to make sure that you get this done. And so he ended up donating tens of thousands of dollars in free pro bono help to us. And like John, just every time we called, Matt would answer the call, get to the answer, and give us advice that was, that got us to the other side of this.
The work they do is hard, it's completely glamorous, but so important. I guess the word is authentic. It's completely authentic. They can devote themselves to such a worthwhile cause full-time. Who are we not to throw in a little bit of time to be of some help?
It was actually fun to be able to work alongside him because he helped us dream about what we could do and then enabled us to do it. An amazing group of Hall of Fame members. Raise your hand if you're a Hall of Fame member. There's lots of us here, but anyway, thank you.
Well, I wasn't prepared to speak. You kind of left the speaking part out of the whole thing. The pleasure was all mine. This is a wonderful organization. In all honesty, I didn't know. I had not been involved with TJC until my friend John called and said, hey, we need some help on trying to buy a building. And I knew Michelle, and so sure, let's go. And it was twists and turns and interesting stops along the way, but it was a wonderful experience and kind of this is all nice. I'm gratified to have gotten to learn about TJC and hope now that we have the building. Y'all aren't through with me yet. I hope to look forward to getting more involved as we go. So thank you very much.
All right. So for our next Hall of Fame inductee, we want to talk a minute. She can show me how to make. She has this very amazing DIY teleprompter. Oh, I'm sorry. Welcome to Kim Iser. Come on up here. When it was clear that we wanted to embark on this journey to have a forever home. We're going to pause this. Okay. So not only could we not afford an attorney, but we also didn't have any budget for building. And so I want to welcome Kim Iser. Welcome, you guys. Let's welcome Kim. When it was clear we needed a home, I reached out to Matt Walsher, who's a longtime TJC friend, former board member, and I said, who's at the Housing Authority, how do we get a location where we're close to low-income families, where we can be with the people that we serve? And Matt says, what's your budget? And I say, oh, we don't have one. It's a little bit awkward. And Matt says, well, you need someone who can make a deal, who will be bold and big-hearted enough to help you. And I have the perfect person, and he just retired, so he might take your call. Kim Leiser is the person behind most every big deal in Nashville over the last decade. And he might be able to help you, but he might not. But if he is, we'll have a home and it will be ideal. He says, call Kim. And so I did. And then Kim basically said yes. He has connected us to his amazing network. He took so many calls, and as an English major and a person who's only really bought one piece of property my whole long life, he answered the most simple questions with patience and kindness. And so we have a building because of Kim. Let's play the tape.
Michelle called at the recommendation of a friend, see if I would assist in helping them find out the correct model for putting together a relocation of their space. Do I own or do I lease? That's kind of easy. Nonprofits, they should own if they can.
As a developer who developed lots of really important and big projects around Nashville, he was able to quickly see what was possible. He's like, this is how much you should spend per square foot. This is how much you should charge per square foot. And these are the things that you can give on, and these are the things you can't give on.
We looked at a lot of different kind of options. That location is perfect.
We want to be in the community with the families that we serve. Maybe the largest barrack-style housing project in the world. That's concentrated poverty, and being there and doing it there feels like a message. Not only are we here to stay, but we're here to stay with our clients. And we know that being with them makes us stronger. We didn't know yet. He's been enormously beneficial to us in just being an expert and knowing everyone.
I am absolutely grateful for the opportunity to be of assistance to the Tennessee Justice Center. Their mission is an extraordinary one to me.
We're going to ask them to buy a second property.
Well, clearly my teleprompter isn't too fancy. It's always awkward when you have a quiet room and everyone's looking at you. Okay, so I just received word that we do have a fundraising update. And so I think you all probably heard me when I said that our goal for tonight, with that small disclosure, goal but not limited to. So our goal is $25,000. We have currently raised almost $10,000 tonight. Yes, yes. So we just want to make certain that we thank all of our generous donors, of course, all of our board members, and everyone who has contributed to make that number a success. All right, Michelle, back to you.
Are y'all eating? And remember, the bar is still open. Are you eating? Are you eating? Okay, eat up, eat up. Okay, for our next Hall of Fame induction, we need Mike and Mozart to come on up here. So Micah was a TJC board member for over 4 years when she joined this dream team. She came on as COO of TJC for 2 years, and there's no way to adequately capture the millions of ways that Micah made a difference for our work. By bringing her 20 years of management experience, her artistic eye, her ambitious spirit, and her love for our clients and for our team. I'm getting all choked up now. She transformed us. She transformed us. Having spent her career in the business world, when she offered to join me, I thought she was joking. I might have actually laughed. She graciously made sacrifice after sacrifice, showing the patience of Job, while she navigated a new nonprofit world. And it was at a time in which it was historically hard for both our clients and for our team. Her presence enabled us to actually continue to raise money for the building. And her expertise, she designed a space that enables our team to be proud and to thrive. And it was a 2 years filled with labor shortages and supply chain issues and pandemic burdens we had no idea would be in store when she signed up. And still we met programmatic goals, and she helped make sure that I was free to raise $5.6 million. So we only have 1.9 left to raise to be debt-free, which is amazing. So thank you, Micah. Let's play the video.
I've had the privilege of knowing Bill King and his wife Robin for many years, and have come to respect him and know him as a friend, as a mentor, and as a colleague. When he told me about the Tennessee Justice Center, I knew it was something that I had to explore. And when I found out about the work that they were doing, I was blown away, and I realized that this was an organization that I had to be a part of. In early March of 2020, right when the pandemic was sort of hitting its height, this time I was sitting on the board. And I knew that they were trying to buy a building, and then we also just had the extreme uncertainty of the pandemic. So that was when I made the choice to join the organization as the COO.
Micah called me, and she just said, what if I come? What if there's no way you can do this building unless I come and help you? And I'll manage the programmatic work, and I'll help you on the building, and we'll get to the other side of this together, which was this enormous gift. In 2 years of her skills, both programmatically and on the building, made all the difference for us in order to enable us to have this home.
It was a very interesting journey. What I learned was that this is an organization made up of people who have the heart for this work. Their resilience, their tenacity, their heart, their courage was something that was on full display.
Her ability to come in and humbly embrace all the things that are hard and all the chaotic things that make this work challenging. I know we wouldn't have a building, it wouldn't be a beautiful building, but for Micah.
I'm humbled, I'm honored, and I'm very gracious to join such an influential and inspiring group of Hall of Famers. I did have the unique privilege of being able to join the TJC staff and work alongside an amazing team who were helping individual clients, doing litigation, advocating for systemic change. There was one team member that told me one day, she said, Micah, what we're doing is heart work. And it really struck me because most of my career was head work, but it realized that it is heart work that they're doing, and that it is very important work and very necessary work for the state. So if my joining the team and helping them build a building that will help them have a forever home was what was my calling, then it was the least I could do. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of the team, and thank you for this amazing honor.
So lucky to have so many answered prayers. Okay, come on up, John Tischler. I don't know how to work this. Make it work. Are you guys eating? It doesn't seem like anybody's eating or drinking. All right, here we go. So here we go. All right, here it is. All right, so the seeds of this forever home started in the finance committee meeting. And let me tell you, when you're in a nonprofit that raises its entire budget from scratch every single year, that has no multi-year funding, and that the largest donor gives less than 0.5% of your overall budget, those finance committees are a little bit tense. So we had a puzzler. how are we going to keep finishing in the black year over year? And John Tischler says, with the characteristic mix of certainty and humility, you gotta build a building. I was intrigued, but he hadn't gotten me yet. So his next words is what set us on a pathway that I refuse to turn back from. And this is what he said. I think about the message that this would send to the community. It would show that TJC is here to stay. We are a fixture in this community. It's time to show concretely that we're here to stay. So that was three and a half years ago. Not 1 week has gone by since that I haven't frantically called John. He's negotiated impossible win-win solutions. He's calmly led us through stormy waters, actually sometimes literally stormy waters. If a lawyer is a problem solver, then John Tischler is the best lawyer I have ever seen in action. His generosity will benefit TJC and the families that we serve for the next 50 years. Thanks for helping me dream and answering my calls when things were less than dreamy. Thanks for putting up with literally thousands of hours of work so that we could turn ideal liquors into ideal justice. And thanks for ensuring that TJC is here to stay. Thanks, John.
A friend of mine at the Waller firm, Chris Dunn, called me one day and asked me if there was something I could do to help a woman who, unfortunately, she had ALS, and she was actually an artist in town, and her house was foreclosed on a few days after the big flood in 2010. So we went into court and we got it set aside, and it was probably one of the most rewarding things I've ever done to do, just to save the family's home. And she was a fantastic artist, and her name was Worsham, and she just recently passed away.
It is because of the Tennessee Justice Center, the great lawyer that lower left George Davis, that instilled that article. We can never forget that.
She gifted this painting to me and to John in thanks for working to save her house. So this is her face. This is her son, Daniel, and her husband, Curry. This is the house that we were able to save, and she named it Homebody, which, she said to me when I found out she had lost her home that her muscle memory was in every nook and cranny of that house. She was able to die at home because of John's standing up, taking the call, and ensuring that she didn't get evicted. Once she was evicted, it would have been very hard to save the house.
The whole thing with the Forever Home feels like it's bringing me full circle from when I was able to help Erin Worsham stay in her home, and now I've been able to help TJC get and find its Forever Home.
The building would not be but for John and his extraordinary negotiation skills, his extraordinary generosity, and his deep commitment to the clients that we serve, and this vision that he had that TJC is stronger when we have a home.
Thank you for that. I will tell you, just like the three before me, this was a huge team effort. Each one of us played our part, but we couldn't have done it without this lady right here. She's fantastic. While I know I'm speaking on behalf, I think, of the other three, we really appreciate this as well. It's really, it was very much of a team effort, and this lady here had to shoulder a whole lot of it. But it's going to be a beautiful place, and I hope when we open it in January, all of you can come and see it. But thank you very much.
last 26 years, TJC has directly impacted the lives of hundreds and thousands of Tennesseans every single year, from children with disabilities in need of high-quality health care, older Tennesseans who need the long-term care to live their final chapter with dignity, pregnant women whose high-risk pregnancies and state red tape barriers to care put their lives at risk, and children in foster care who need appropriate mental health care, to thrive. They haven't just helped individuals access services. They have protected and improved the programs that 1 in 6 Tennesseans depend on to survive. In doing so, they inspired the rest of us to be better, to keep fighting, and now they have a forever home. Let's give that a round of applause. In the next 25 years, we can and will reduce healthcare disparities, childhood poverty, shrink the life expectancies divided in our state, and give every Tennessee child a healthy start and every Tennessee senior dignity filled for their final chapter. And when TJC does this, it will be because their forever home and their forever neighbors will show them the way of power through proximity, as Brian Stevens said. So Michelle called me last night, or maybe a day ago. Nevertheless, it was a short notice, and she says, I want you to add something to the program, and I want you to tell your why. Why did you decide to join the board? And so I wrote it down because, I'll start with, when I was a child, my family and I always kept me engaged in nonprofit and philanthropy just to keep us grounded, right? And as I grew into adulthood, my passion became more evident, and I knew volunteer service was a part of my purpose, leading me to champion the most vulnerable people and communities by contributing a significant amount of my time, energy, and resources. My oldest brother is nonverbal with intellectual and developmental disabilities. My family and I know firsthand what it truly means to champion for a loved one to ensure that they receive justice, love, and inclusion. My mother does this all with grace. You have heard remarkable stories and individuals speak and attest to the great work that TJC does. I will say this, she probably doesn't know I'm going to thank her, but my introductory to TJC actually came through former judge or chancellor Claudia Vonneman. Claudia is actually the wife of executive director Gordon Vonneman. And I remember when I met Claudia, and she and I both work in the legal world, but when I met Claudia, she kind of just, somehow, I don't even know how Michelle came about, but I met Michelle through Claudia. And that experience was just very beautiful. Gordon, as well as Michelle, are really dynamic people. And if you know them, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. I often get asked to serve on many boards, but I'm very intentional as to which ones I decide to be a part of. So when I was approached by Neil McBride, who is actually a board member on TJC, is Neil here? Neil is probably virtual, but Neil was amazing. And Neil just lets you guys know how they all collectively work together. I didn't even know, I have a project that I'm working on, and Michelle offered without a hitch to offer me her resource to help my nonprofit organization. She connected me with Neil. Neil and I built a wonderful Zoom relationship. And so from that relationship, he asked me, would I be interested in being on the part of the board? Me and Michelle had a conversation. Michelle brought me on board. And I say all that to say that this organization, it gives people hope. It brings a sense of humanity to the world, especially in the society that we live in now. I'm honored to be a part of this board. There are so many people in this room, on this board, so many donors, so many Hall of Fame inductees that I really admire, and I also may have a little admiration to just kind of walk in those footsteps, heavy shoes to fill. But nevertheless, that is just a small portion of my why. With that said, we are still trying to raise that $25,000. And so if you feel compelled, then you can text 41444. And Michelle, is this the portion where I think I'm supposed to hand it over to you?
The Face of Hunger Tennessee is often children, older Tennesseans, students. It's folks who are working but not making enough money that they aren't food insecure. Everyone is passing those spaces every day that don't even know it. We thought it was really important to bring nutrition back to our work several years ago because it's hard for people to be healthy if they don't have food.
Our unique role is shining a light on programs that already exist, but aren't reaching families. And so we want to make sure that people understand what these programs are, that they exist, but then also work to make them more accessible for families. When the pandemic hit, that meant the schools had to shut their doors. Kids no longer were able to be at school every day, and school often means I will be okay today because I have breakfast, I have school lunch.
I have never felt so financially strained and overwhelmed as I have these past few months. We go to food pantries just to survive, and we often go hungry. I am praying and struggling each day to hold on until things get better.
Well, the idea of the PBT program, which is pandemic EBT, was if we're going to send all these children home to learn, how do we ensure that because school isn't in session, that these kids aren't going without lunch and breakfast? And so it was a $250 card. The first one was a $250 nutritional card per child. And it's a huge opportunity for families to have a stabilizing force, except for in our case, it ended up just being one more thing for families to have to fight about.
I'm a grandma raising 4 grandkids on a limited income. Their mom is incarcerated. We really need the summer PEBT just to survive. I really don't know how we will make it.
I wish the state would have acted quicker to bring PEBT to families because they needed to feed their children today, not 3 months later or 6 months later when finally the state was able to get their plan approved and bring PEBT to Tennessee.
When those benefits were delayed, there were periods of time, months, in some instances, where kids had very limited access to food.
Even families in the reddest of states didn't have to jump the hurdles that Tennessee families had to jump. But at every turn, the governor took steps to make it harder and harder for families to access this benefit. And this isn't something that costs the state any money. This is just about good leadership. And our leaders showed that they weren't gonna break a sweat over Tennessee's children.
Elizabeth is one of my clients. I've worked with her with SNAP, Pandemic EBT. She's a caregiver to 5 people within her household. The kids are all under the age of 15. And so she is like a superhero.
Back then, when we had this pandemic, you can't just go to a food bank. Our food banks are running out. You were at home and you look in your pantry and go, oh my gosh, we was wondering where our next meal was going to come from, and got up at the door.
First thing that we did is we just started communicating
we started talking about PEBT, we started sharing information about what the program was and what it could do for Tennessee. And at the same time, we pulled together partners from across the state.
Essentially, what we did is we pushed on the governor to accept the benefits and to distribute them, and engaged lots and lots of partners around the state to say, click this button and let the governor know that you care about these benefits getting to families. And at one point, the Lee administration said that they were going to shred those cards. It was about $60 million in food that they were going to shred those cards. Well, that doesn't really work that way. Those cards were sent for these children, and they have a property interest in someone not destroying money that's intended for them. And so we had to talk to lawyers for the governor and say, you can't do that. This team and our partners just kept on pushing on the governor to do what was right and to ensure that those benefits found their way to families. Roughly 1 million children benefited from the work that we did with our partners on this program. And it was just about $1 billion in food that got to families.
Tennessee Justice Center, it's a justice model of doing with versus a charity model of doing for. Justice is people having access to quality, affordable food.
Well, money I get every month, me and my husband put it together. We had already been doing it, but still that wasn't enough. But when PBT come in the picture, that was more than enough. It was full.
And now we will hear from my fellow board members, Jeff Gibson and Christy Nettles.
Hey y'all, I'm Christy Nettles. I'm so privileged and so honored to be here tonight. I apologize to you, Michelle, because you wrote really beautiful words, but I put my contacts in backwards and I'm not going to read a word of this, so sorry. I just tell you, it is an honor and privilege to be here tonight. I have been one of these people. I grew up without a lot of food in the pantry. And I did not have a team of lawyers backing me, trying to make sure that I had a school lunch. This is an amazing organization. I'm so glad you guys are here supporting TJC tonight. It should not take an army of lawyers to make sure that a child has lunch. It should not, okay? It should not take an army of lawyers to make sure that people have access to health care. That's ridiculous. It should not take that. And the fact that this organization is making sure that that happens is amazing. It's a gift, but it only works with your help, right? That army only is supported by the people in this room. And Jeff is going to walk you through step by step how to make sure that that army is there every single day for the people of Tennessee.
Thank you. That was really beautiful. This is an incredible room. We have an incredible opportunity tonight. And I'm going to be very forceful in walking you through what we're about to do. I want everybody to get their phones out. No, we've had soft ass until now. Phones out. Phones out. I'm going to walk you through this. There's a card on your table that gives you very specific instructions on how to make this donation. Wi-Fi. I'm going to send a text message. I'm doing it with you right now to 41444. It's very important in the body of the text message to write TJC first of all, then the amount that you're willing to donate, and then your. Okay, let's go back. First step. 41444. 41444. Is everyone with me?
Y'all there?
We have an elder audience.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. 41444. All right, next, in the body of the text, write TJC. Okay? Then I want you to write a number that has as many zeros as you can possibly stomach. Okay? Don't be shy with those zeros. So make sure they're added at the end, not the beginning. So TJC, your donation amount with lots of zeros, your name, hit send. Oh, there we go. All right. Don't stop though. Don't stop. Let's blow it out of the water. Come on. We're going to keep the donations rolling here, okay? I want everyone to keep giving, give twice, give 3 times, keep it going. While you're doing that, we have Shauna who's going to come up and sing another song for us. Very lucky to have her. Let's blow this out of the water. Let's double our goal. Really appreciate it, everyone.
And when y'all go into work on Monday, all y'all with matching gifts, be sure to submit that.
Just because I'm standing here doesn't mean the number doesn't need to keep going on up. I'm just saying. Look at that. Isn't it satisfying? Man, I am so honored to be a part of such a great night and be able to witness that texting a number works when it comes to donating funds to those here. And me and TJC is doing so much to address so many needs here in the state of Tennessee. I'm gonna bring us out with a song here. I've noticed over the years the importance of my legacy and what is that's been handed down to me. A torch has been passed to me. I feel like a torch has been passed on to each one of us. And this is just one way that we can help keep marching. This is called Marching On. Many the miles that I have traveled, so much pain I've had to rise above. So many dreams have come unraveled, still I'm waiting for my love. I hear a distant hallelujah, singing change is gonna come. I can still find a song in the soul guitar, still see the light in that dying star. I hear a jubilee choir singing into the dawn. Keep on marching, child. Keep on marching on the road that may be long. Keep on marching on. Ooh, ooh, yeah. The men who have fallen by the hand of a mighty few, we can hear their voices calling. Children, we pass the flame on to you. I hear a distant hallelujah, singing, we shall not be moved. I can still find a song in the soul guitar, still see the light in that dying star. I hear a jubilee choir singing to the dawn. Keep on marching, child. Keep on marching on the road that may be long. Keep on marching on. Ooh, ooh, yeah. I hear a distant hallelujah, singing, we shall overcome. I can still find a song in the soul guitar, still see the light in that dying star.
There's a jubilee choir singing into the dawn. Keep on marching, child. Keep on marching on. I can still find a song in this smoky time. Oh yeah, I still see the light in that dying star. There's a jubilee choir singing into dawn. Keep on marching, child. Keep on marching on the road. It may be long. Keep on marching on. Just sing your freedom song. Keep on marching on. Oh, while our hearts are young. Keep on marching on. Yeah. Keep on marching on. Ooh, keep on marching on. Oh, no, no. Keep on marching on. Ooh, keep on marching on.
That was beautiful. Let's give Kashana another round of applause. So I don't know about you guys, but it was so exciting to watch that thermometer rise throughout the evening. So you can go home and rest your little heads knowing that we have raised over or almost $15 million in benefits for people across Tennessee. So again, that number was 15 million. We want to thank you for making a pledge and or giving this evening and for contributing to tongue twister. I think I got a little excited about that number. And for your contributions to TJC's continued fight for health and nutrition access for all Tennesseans. We hope you enjoyed tonight and the time that you spent with us, and will continue to keep up with TJC, sharing us with your circle and increasing awareness of Tennessee's needs for more equitable access for all. Thank you to the National Museum of African American Music for hosting us tonight and helping us bring our vision to life. Let's give another hand or a round of applause to Yukno Catering and their staff for providing us with our wonderful meal and service. Again, thank you, Kashana, for sharing your incredible talent and grace with us this evening. Thank you to our board members and committee members for your support of TJC. Thank you to our clients for joining us this evening and fighting the good fight alongside us every day. And finally, thank you to our honorees for allowing us to celebrate you for your generous and game-changing work for TJC and the legacy you have left us. We hope that you all had and enjoyed this wonderful evening and that you get home safe. Tonight concludes our program. Thank you all. Good evening. Good night. Michelle wanted me to inform you that the bar is still open.